Shalom, if you can hear me, give me a con, give me a one, just give me something. But we're gonna get into today's Monday history class. So of course, we'll start it off with Shalom. This is the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General YAHANNA. Today's class is the Monday history class. Usually done by Officer Karathia. Today done by myself, Captain of 10,000 Parashia. In today's history class, we'll be going into the black people of the slave trade are not African. And the reason being is, when we're at camp or in a class, what do people like to say that, well, you're African. How can you be the Jews? You know what I mean? Even with the slave trade, what do people think? People think that, well, Africans sold their own. So in today's class, we're gonna break that idea of thought and that a notion that Africans sold their own. And of course, this being the history class, we will of course provide historical evidence,
Right.
which is what history class is about. So in today's class, we will show you, even in the history, that historians know that Africans didn't sell their own people, that people that research a bit more deeper into West African history, they know that, listen, West Africans didn't sell the poor of their own. That's a lie that a lot of people like to say. We're going to show you today that Africans sold Israelites that were living on the west coast of Africa.
That's right.
So in today's class, it's going to show you the history books we will be using. First history book is Babylon to Timbuktu by Rudolph R. Windsor. This book here, Into Egypt with Ships by Elisha Israel. Then this book here, this is a big book, bear with me, spin it around. It's called Hebrewisms of West Africa by Joseph J. Williams. So, of course, in this class, we're not going to read every single page of these history books, but we will definitely give you excerpts out of them. And then you can also read the whole book in your own time, or, you can read them excerpts to see if we're taking them out of context. So, what we're going to do first, let's get my notes.
So, okay. That brother there says he has two questions.
Okay, no sweat. Mad Ban Yum Yum, if you could type those two questions. Right, so if you could in the Bible, let's start off with Job 32 and 8.
This is the book of Job, chapter 32 and verse 8. But there is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding.
And there you go, man. Us showing the world that we're not Africans. This is the understanding given by the Most High, man.
That's right.
Why? Because in the world, people are comfortable believing that Africans sold their own, while as the Lord, He gave us the understanding.
Right.
And let me explain something. Before any of these history books even came out, the I.S.U.P.K always taught that we're not African. Deuteronomy 20 and 68 was always a precept showing that Africans sold the Israelites.
Right.
This is before, Hebrewisms of West Africa, Babylon to Timbuktu, into Egypt with ships. We always knew via the Almighty that we was not African, man.
Right.
We was the Israelites. Why? Because the Lord gives the understanding. And then come to find out, there was history books that confirmed it, man.
That's right.
In the I.S.U.P.K, in your own time, you can go through our history of what happened from 1969. And a lot of the history books that we use, we wasn't even using them. We was happy reading the Bible, man, and line upon line, it was breaking it down. Then come to find out, there was some history that went along with what we were saying, and we use it. But guess what? The Lord gave us understanding ages ago.
That's right.
These history books don't make our faith because we believed it before those authors even written them books, man.
Right.
From there, give me Proverbs 15 and 28.
The book of Proverbs 15 and verse 28. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer.
And there you go, man. In the UPK, we study to answer, man. We tell you we're an African. Do you think we just say that? We study to give you answer, man.
That's right.
You know, and a lot of us, people are very rude. They disrespect us thinking we're just some black guys that think we're Israelites. We don't know nothing. When listen, we are the most smartest people on the face of God's green earth, man.
That's right.
I mean, we know the Bible, we know history, and we know how to change your life too, man.
Right.
You mean we got all the answers in here. In your church, you got nothing, man. In your mosque, you got nothing. But in here, we got the answers. And if we say we are not African, then you best believe we can back it up, man.
That's right.
Read on.
But the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things.
Meaning what? The mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things, meaning he lies, man.
Right.
He doesn't even study to give you the answer. He just pours out what's off his head, man. Just show me what he thinks is right. Let's get 2 Timothy's 2 and 15, man. It's going to show you that in here, we research, man. Then after this, Mad Bun Yum Yum, I will get your questions as well, already. No, I know that one's a bit difficult. You want this one here? It's big print. So, yeah, you want it. So yeah, 2 Timothy's 2 and 15, and then we'll get to Mad Bunny Yum Yum's questions as well.
Book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15. Study to shew thyself approved.
And there you go, man. So in here, if you want to be approved, meaning you want to be certified, you got to do your research, man.
Right.
For someone to approve you, you got to know how to break these scriptures down. You got to, know some decent history. Of course, in the school, everyone's not a historian, and that's fine. But you must know a decent amount if you want to go out there and teach.
That's right.
So, brother, you see saying we're not African, he's approved, man. He's certified. He knows why he's saying that. And you better believe he can back it up too, man.
That's right.
All right, so let's get the 2 questions online. All right. So, first question of Mad. I have asked this before. All right, Salakia, let's get back to it. All right, so Mad Bun Yum Yum asked, I've asked before, Bad, can you break down how we are Bun Yum Yum, as in how to prove it? All right, so to break this down, first off, let's start in Genesis 49 and 1. Genesis 49 and 1. So we'll start there first, yeah? And then we'll show you the biblical proof of how we are the tribe of Benjamin.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
In when?
In the last days.
So keep in mind now, in Genesis 49, he's telling them last days. Because, you know, I'll just give you the heads up. You got people out there that hate the 12 tribe chart, man. And they tries to go, this is, you mean that Genesis 49 is talking about something else? When clearly Jacob is telling them what will happen to them in the last days, man. When are the last days? Today, man.
That's right.
Even people that don't believe in the Bible, even they say we're living in the last days. It's common knowledge we are living in the last days of Bible time, man.
That's right.
That's you know what I mean, common knowledge. So keep in mind now, he's telling them what will befall them in the last days. So of course, what happens? You've read Deuteronomy 28 and 68. We've been into slavery via ships. So of course, with the curses in the Bible, it must match these people. So now, how do we prove we're the tribe of Benjamin? In Genesis 49, skip to Benjamin part about Benjamin.
Verse 27. Benjamin shall raven as a wolf.
So now, what is the Bible saying about the tribe of Benjamin? Benjamin is hungry as a wolf. You know what I mean? Fate Israelite groups. What do they say? The word to a raven is to be loud. Raven means hungry, man.
Right.
You can look it up in any dictionary. So the Bible saying the tribe of Benjamin, they're hungry, man. And what does that mean now? Why is it using the analogy of a wolf? A pack of wolves, what? They are a family. They are a unit. And they look out for each other. They're hungry. And all that hunger and that desire to get gain, what is it for? To feed the pack, man. And that's the tribe of Benjamin. Benjamin, as a tribe, we are very family orientated, man. And we're hungry, man. With that Benjamite mom, she works 3 jobs for that pack, man, for that family. The Benjamite dad, you know, he's a mechanic and this and that for that family. And Jacob saw that about the tribe of Benjamin in the last days.
Right.
Read on.
In the morning he shall devour the prey,
Yeah, read on.
and at night he shall divide the spoil.
There, so in the morning he gathers the prey, meaning what? That job, man. You mean you're working, and then what? At night you divide it up, man. You know, one thing about the tribe of Benjamin, we share, man. You mean we're not like we're not like it's mine. We are a tribe of people that love to share, man.
Right.
In the morning we devour, and at night we divide it, man.
That's right.
We're people that have a share mentality, like, yo, brother, you need this, you need that. It's just us, man. Why? Because we are the tribe of Benjamin, man.
Right.
Even in Jamaica, listen, Jamaica is not the richest. Matter of fact, the West Indies. And even in our poverty, we share, man. You mean, your brother, you need to borrow this. Yeah, man. And I'll give it back to you, such and such. We are a tribe that share, man. We look out for each other like how wolves look out for each other. Read on.
All these are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Okay, no sweat. Let's get the other precept in Deuteronomy 33 about the tribe of Benjamin as well.
Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 12. And of Benjamin he said, the beloved of the Lord shall dwell in safety.
So now, what's the Lord saying? That Benjamin is blessed of the Lord. Now, how is Benjamin blessed of the Lord? Even though we've been enslaved for so long, we know that we're Israelites, man. If you go to the West Indies right now, the tribe of Benjamin knows who they are, man.
Right.
They're blessed of the Lord, meaning even though we've been whipped, given Christianity, in the West Indies, 7-day Adventism is like the highest, is the most biggest religion out there. And still, deep down, we know we are the people of God, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Of course, in the world, you don't have the a proof of it, but we just know, listen, man, that Bible's my book, man.
All right.
That Bible is talking about me. Reader.
By him, and the Lord shall cover him all the day long.
So what does it mean by the Lord should cover him all the day long? Meaning the Lord's going to be watching over Benjamin. And how do you know, man? In the West Indies, even a pop music, it's about the Bible, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? All the reggae artists, it's all Bible based, man. With the Israelites, Babylon's gonna fall, chant down Babylon. You know what I mean? That's a people that are covered by the Most High, man.
That's right.
Read on.
And he shall dwell between his shoulders.
So remember, keep this in mind. He is covered by the Most High. He shall dwell between his shoulders. Meaning what? You're a person that is hugged, man. Like if you dwell in between someone's shoulders, you know when you hug someone, you are in between them. That's how you are covered and in between the shoulders of the Most High. Meaning a people that are always protected by the Lord, man.
That's right.
And that's why in the West Indies, even the pop music, it's Bible music. It's you know what I mean? Babylon with the Israelites, you know what I mean? Such and such. And even biblical laws. Among the tribe of Benjamin, if a woman's unclean, she can't be around a man, man.
Right.
Some men in some Benjamin restaurants, if it's a woman chef, they don't want to even eat the food, man. They're like, nah, man, she might be on a time of the month, you know. I don't want any of that.
Right.
So you know what I mean? So that's the proof right there, man. You know what I mean? You had a second question. Let me grab that too. Stuff you gonna scroll up a bit. All right, second question. Second question is, I know the I.S.U.P.K says Israel means prince of the power, but in my tongue, Genesis 32 and 28, it says it means fight with God. Okay, no sweat. Now, the word Israel, you can look it up. It means prince of the power or a prince of God. El meaning God, and the Israel means to fight with. You know what it means? Like a prince of. So let's get Genesis, what was it? 32 and 28.
Genesis chapter 32 and verse 28. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel, for as prince hast thou power with God.
There, so that's what Israel means, prince of the power. You mean El means God, and you know what I mean? You can break down the other phonetics. It just means a prince of God. That's all it means. So the fight part, you know what I mean, from the ancient Hebrew to the English, that's what Israel means. So in Dutch, I wouldn't know why it would say to fight with God, but you know, this is researchable information that with Israel, it does mean prince of God.
That's right.
That's what it does mean. All right. No sweat. Let's get back into the breakdown. So let's get Revelations 1 and 3.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 1 and verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy.
There, man. So meaning you're blessed if you hear the words of these prophecies. Why? Because many people read the Bible, but they don't get it, man.
Right.
There's many people, I've read the Bible 20 years. That Bible, it's an exciting book and it's a good read, but they don't understand it, man. They read it, but they don't understand it.
Right.
And what you gotta understand is you are blessed, man.
That's
when
right.
when you do understand it, because there's many people, yes, they've read the Bible for innumerable years, for a very long time, but they don't understand it, man. So now let's get into the history. So what we're gonna do first in the book of Babylon to Timbuktu, page 84. So we're gonna start in page 84, and we're gonna set the scene from there, right? All right, page 84. Yeah, got it. Just part with the red arrows around it.
Book of Babylon to Timbuktu, page 84. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem.
So now, this is going back in history. The Romans captured Jerusalem under General Pompey, who was a Roman emperor. You can look him up. And that happened. Why? Because in Jerusalem, we was fighting over who would become the next high priest. And the Romans heard about the fight we had, and then they conquered us, believing we was going to rebel against them.
Right.
But at first, the Romans gave us independence. But then how we was going on, like, nah, you know what? We're gonna now. It's better that we rule over them, because we had a dispute and we couldn't handle it amongst each other. So then General Pompey and the Roman army captured Jerusalem, knocked down the big walls we had, etc. Read on.
In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state.
All right. So now, 100 years before that, General Pompey captured Jerusalem. Then in 70 AD, another Roman general called Vespasian, him and his son Titus, they put an end to the Jew state that we had. So in between those 100 years, let's find out what happened. Read on.
With great slaughter, during the period of the military governors of Palestine. Should I go down?
Yeah, please, yeah.
During the period from Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa.
All right. So now, meaning from the time when we became a Roman colony to the same time the same Romans put an end to our empire, 1 million of us flew into Africa, man.
Right.
Meaning what? We didn't want to be under the Romans, and especially in 70 AD, when they put an end to us, man. You can even research it, how that they barricaded us, they blocked us in so that no food couldn't enter in. And then, of course, we got hungry, and many of us died of starvation. Some of us were eating our babies, eating the leather off their sandals, eating grass. There's a Jew historian called Josephus, and of course, in his records, you'll get the in-depth breakdown of what happened when the Romans put an end to the Jewish state, as they like to call it. Read on.
Fleeing Roman persecution and slavery, the slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves.
And there you go. And also, this history lets you know that the slave markets were full of black Jew slaves, man. Those people on those markets, those weren't Africans, those were Israelites, man.
Right.
And that's what the world doesn't like you to know, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? The world doesn't want you to know that you are the people of the book. From there, skip to page 86.
Page 86. The pagans and the Romans attacked the Jews indiscriminately.
There, so now, while we was in Africa, the pagans, meaning the Africans and the Romans, they attacked the Jews indiscriminately. Why? Because we don't agree with a paganism.
That's right.
For the pagans, and then the Romans, they put an end to our empire. So as we're wandering through Africa, we're fighting, both Africans and Romans, man.
Right.
Read on.
Both the Jewish soldiers and the uninvolved peaceful population without mercy.
There, so people was attacking. They didn't care who he was. They was attacking the Jews that they had the ability to fight, and they were just attacking just regular Jews. You know what I mean? The ones that can't even fight, man. The pagans and the Romans, they didn't care what you was capable of. They just cared that, listen, he's one of those Jews. Kill him.
Right.
Read on.
As a result of this merciless attack, many Jews fled to those parts of Northwest Africa.
So now, because of the discrimination we received after many of us left Jerusalem because of the Roman Empire, we migrated into Northwest Africa, so Morocco, Mauritania, etc. Read on. Yeah, read on.
Jews fled into those areas where Rome did not have any jurisdiction.
There, so now, this is what you need to do. Look on a map of the Roman Empire of where they ruled, and you'll see that the top part of Northwest Africa is on there, but the lower parts ain't, man.
Right.
Meaning the Romans didn't rule over that part. You can look it up. So the Jews purposely went to a place where it wasn't under the rule of the Roman Empire. Read on.
This was known as the region of the South, the Sahara Desert, and the Sudan, with Grazel says.
And now with Grazel, he's a historian on West African history, and he's got a book about the Jews of Africa. So even in his book, he knows why the Jews went to those regions to escape the pagans and also the Roman Empire. Read on.
So is the explanation of how the Sahara Desert first acquired the Jewish tribes.
So hang on now. In the Sahara Desert, at one point in time, there was many Jews living there, man. The same Sahara Desert that you see now, at one point in time, many Jews were there. Why? Because they left Jerusalem, man.
Right.
Read on.
Toughened by a fighting tradition and possessed of physical characteristics, blacks, which it is said still make them approximate very close the original Jewish population of Palestine.
There. So now, of course, your environment, it can change you. Now, I'm not talking about your looks, but meaning, all right then. Aim and mannerisms as a Benjamite over here. In some things he does, but in some things he doesn't. Like in the Western world, we like the gym. In like the gym, you know what I mean? Jamaica, we're slim, but though, so it develops your different kind of characteristics. Why? Because their environment is different, man.
Right.
Their environment is survival. They gotta fight the pagans, the Romans. So from how an Israelite would have had been in Palestine of the Sahara, because they're always in this a war mode, they develop about reader.
The Jews are an omnipresent people. They seem to exist everywhere.
There you go, man. So throughout the Sahara and other parts of Africa, we was everywhere, man. So don't let no one, you know what I mean? There weren't that many Jews in Africa. Historians tell you the opposite, man.
Right.
Historians tell you in Africa, Jews were everywhere. Read on.
At the beginning of the 6th century, they are found in Spain.
So we was even in Spain at one point. It's lucky passing the book to get to the key points, just to, for time's sake. All right. 8, 7. A second. Right, for time's sake, page 90. All right. So from page 90 to 91. So yeah, just from here. So we're gonna skip. Of course, you know, in Africa, historians prove that Jews were everywhere. But let's get in specific. Read that for me, Baba Kushar.
The Africans on the west coast did not possess the cultural superiority of Africans.
So now, you know, this is when many Jews started to migrate into what we call today West Africa, Ghana, Togo, Benin. Even though we went in, all right, most sign Christ back up. All right. So now those West African tribes, their a culture, it didn't overrun us, man.
Right.
Because we knew who we were, and that their culture didn't dominate us to where we would lose ours. Read on.
Of the Africans on the north and the east coast, the black Jews had an advantage over the African tribes. They carried out their culture, history, laws, and written records with them.
All right. So now in West Africa, we had the advantage. Why? Because we was unified, man. Africans ain't unified. This tribe hates that tribe. You remember with us, we was unified. We had our a culture, written laws. When we came into what the world knows today as the Gold Coast of Africa, we still kept our heritage and our traditions with us. Read on.
This assured them a constant precedent for the development of a higher social organization. Because of the stability of the black Jewish culture, the Jews were not absorbed into the or,
Tenacious.
tenacious population. In fact, the Jews absorbed some of the native tribes.
So now this is where we went wrong, man. The Africans didn't absorb us, but we absorbed them, man. Just like today, you know, what is the problem we have as a race of people? We just love everybody, man.
Right.
We absorb everyone. Like, nah, man, this white man's cool, man. This Indian man's cool. He can hang with us. And that's where we went wrong. When we went to West Africa, we started to absorb Africans into us, man. That's why you got the Ashanti tribe thinking they're Israelites. You got the Igbo tribe thinking they're Israelites. Why? Because we absorb them, man.
Right.
Read on.
The Jews made use of every opportunity. They were an industrial and skillful people. In the Jewish Ghanaian states were found kings.
So now I want you to make this, I want you to understand this. This ain't saying Ghanaians are Jews. What did it say? In the Jewish states of Ghana. So meaning, yes, we lived in Ghana, but we were separate, man.
Right.
We had a state of our own. So we had states of our own. Read on.
In the Jewish Ghanaian states were found kings, princes, governors, generals, secretaries, treasurers, revenue agents, judges, architects, engineers, doctors, historians, language interpreters, mathematicians, jewelers, sculptors, masons, carpenters, painters of art.
And there you go, man. So meaning among us, we was wise, man, had kings, painters of art, many things, and amongst the Africans, they didn't know about any of this, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? We went to the Gold Coast of Africa and we taught them, man. All that African art you see now made out of wood. If we didn't go there, they wouldn't know how to do that, man.
That's right.
They wouldn't know anything of the such. But right, for time's sake, this is another book I'll get into. It's called Into Egypt with Ships by Elisha Israel. So we're going to read out of this book, page 45. Just this part here, the transatlantic slave trade.
Page 45. The transatlantic slave trade that followed millions of Semitic black Jews.
So now, even in that book there, they know that it wasn't Africans that sold their own. It's telling you millions of Semitic black Jews, man. Meaning this author knows who was on those ships.
Right.
It wasn't Africans. It was Shemitic black Jews, man.
That's right.
Read on.
Settled in the lands of the black Hamitic nations.
So we settled in the lands of the black Hamitic nations, like what we read in Babylon to Timbuktu. We went to West Africa. So this author, he's wording it in a different way. But yes, we settled among those black nations, man.
That's right.
We lived amongst them, even though we was not them. Read on.
Dr. A.H. Godby correctly suggests that as strangers among the Africans, Israelites would have been vulnerable to enslavement during wars and conflicts.
There you go. So because we live amongst them, it is their land. So we're always going to be vulnerable, man.
That's right.
It's natural for them to team up against us. Why? Because we are the strangers on their land, man.
Right.
And that's what happened. We was vulnerable to being enslaved, man. So once, slavery began, we are the most vulnerable people on a land that is not our own, man.
That's right.
And we was easy to be rounded up. We was easy to be captured. Why? Because we are strangers on a land that is not ours. And they teamed up and they rounded us up, man.
Right.
But that's history. And Dr. A.H. Godby, he's dead now, but he's got a book which is out of a print, and it's called The Jews, the Lost Tribes in Africa. And you know what I mean? That book is out of print, and the available ones that have the like £1,000, which, you know what I mean? I ain't got £1,000. I'm afraid. But the book it is out there. And this man in the 1800s, he done his research and knew that we were the real Israelites, man. We were the people of God, and that slavery was Africans selling Israelites. It wasn't, Africans selling their own, like what we've been taught. Okay, so Mad Banyamyan, the question is then, Salaki said, if I may, what if I don't believe in the Bible? How do I prove we are Banyamyan? Well, that a question there. If someone believes they're a Benjamite, but they don't believe in the Bible, that's a contradiction. And
Right.
I'll explain why. Because the tribe of Benjamin is only found in the Bible.
That's right.
Israelites are found in the Bible.
Right.
So if someone would believe they're of the tribe of Benjamin, then you would have to believe in the Bible.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So that wouldn't work if someone goes, I'm a Benjamite, but I need history. I don't believe in the Bible. Well, Benjamin is found well, the tribe of Benjamin is found in the Bible.
Right.
So you would have to believe in the Bible, and that Bible evidence would have to be your evidence as well, man. No sweat. All right, from there, let's get Matthew 24 and 1. So, earlier in the class, I spoke about the fall of Jerusalem under the Roman armies. Well, Christ, he prophesied this as well, man. Christ knew this would happen, and he told his disciples before he went up to the right hand side of the Father.
Right.
Let's get that Matthew 24 and 1.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 1. And Jesus went out and departed from the people, and disciples came to him to shew him the buildings of the temple.
So what happened with Christ and his disciples? They went to Jerusalem and they saw a temple. Now, of course, with a temple, is not just a building. Think of it like a campus. There's this building, that building, this big a walkway. It's something nice. So you know what I mean? He's with his disciples, and the temple's looking nice. His disciples are liking it, and now as they're walking, Christ is going to let them know something. Read on.
And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another.
So now his disciples love this place, and Christ told them, listen, there's not going to be one stone upon another, meaning all of this is coming down, man.
Right.
And when did all of this come down? In 70 AD, man.
That's right.
You know, it's like life. You know, if you are accustomed to a certain way of life, you don't believe that a change will ever happen. So, of course, they're walking around the temple, you know, the people walking back and forth, life. And Christ is saying, life ain't always going to be like this, man.
Right.
A time will come where one stone won't be lying upon another, man. Right. Meaning it's all coming down. Just like England, man. People love the Birmingham High Street. But one day, one stone won't be upon another, man.
That's right.
What one day, all that, you know what I mean, walking up and down, buying whatever you buy, a day is gonna come where you ain't gonna have the chance to buy anything.
Right.
Because it's all coming down. And Christ let his disciples know that. If you can skip to verse 15.
Verse 15. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation.
So now Christ is letting them know when these one stone shall not lie upon another, man. So he goes, when you shall see the abomination of desolation, man. Who's that? The white man, man. He's abominable and he makes things desolate, man.
Right.
Through his wars, through, you know what I mean, any kind of warfare. Saying, when you see that, the abomination of desolation, aka the Roman armies. Read on.
Spoken of by Daniel the prophet.
So now, why does it say spoken of by Daniel? Because Daniel spoke about the white man from the book of Maccabees, man, about how they destroyed how they put the abomination on the altar, and they made the abomination of desolation. You know, the Greeks and the Romans are the same race of people, just had a different culture. That's all, man.
Right.
But whether they call themselves Greeks, Romans, French, British, they are still the abomination of desolation, man.
That's right.
Reader.
Stand in thy holy place. Whoso readeth, let him understand.
So meaning, if you understand the Bible, then understand what's going on, man. When you see them in Jerusalem just dominating, ruling, you need to go, man.
Right.
Read on.
Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
And there you go. It says, those that be in Judea flee to the mountains, man. When you see the white man in Jerusalem heavy, you need to go, man.
Right. Flee
to the mountains. What does that mean? Just run away, man.
That's right.
there's not a specific mountain that someone runs to, man. All it's saying is when you see the Roman army occupation heavy in Judea, go. So Christ warned his believers, man. And of course, everyone did not believe, and those that stayed died, man.
Right.
They were starved to death, and the remainders, the Romans, are killed, or they brought to Rome to fight in the Colosseums to become gladiators. Read on.
Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house.
So meaning just leave, man. Don't think, I'm gonna go back and get this and that. Why? Because you might return and the Romans might lock everything off and you can't leave, man.
Right.
So Christ is telling his disciples, listen, and his believers and those that have an ear to hear, just go, man. Just go. Don't, look back and, you know what? I'm half on the journey. I got to just get this. No, because you might return and you may not be able to leave, man. Read on.
Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes.
So what's the point? Christ saying, just leave, man. If you had belongings, forget about them. Just go because, you know what I mean? You're trying to live here. Skip to verse 21.
Verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time.
Mm-hmm.
No, nor ever shall be.
There, so of course, what is saying meaning what's gonna happen to us at that time? You ain't seen this before, man. And you do know in the Josephus, you can read about what happened in 70 AD. Even some of the people in the Roman army, they cried how they seen how we was dying. Even they were like, oh man, this is rough. And that happened to us as a people, man. You know what I mean? That's what we went through.
That's right.
Give me in Matthew 11 and 23.
The book of Matthew, chapter 11 and verse 23. And thou, Capernaum, which art exalted unto heaven.
All right. So I'll break it down for you. So this is a place in the land of Judea. It's called Capernaum. So now with Christ, he's prophesying against them. Why? Because when him and his disciples went there, they received him not, man. Read on.
Shalt be brought down to hell.
So now it's saying this place, Capernaum, they shall be brought down to hell. When did this happen? In 70 AD, man.
That's right.
The Roman armies destroyed Capernaum as well, man. So because they didn't receive the message Christ had, Christ spoke against them, saying, don't worry, man. A time's coming where you're going to be brought down to hell. And when did that happen? In 70 AD, man.
Right.
The Romans destroyed Jerusalem and all of Judea, meaning all of the cities everywhere where we was in that land, man. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's get into the third book. Of course, this book goes into it more in depth. This book is blah blah blah. Hebrewisms of West Africa by Joseph J. Williams. So I was gonna show them one thing. Now, if you want to know if a book is good, just a pointer. There's got to be references at the back showing where they got this information from. So you know what I mean. So in the UPK, we got good books, man. We got books that you can go back to and see where this author got his information from, man.
That's right.
So let me just give you an example. So as you see, all this here, this ain't to read. This is just references, meaning on a certain page, what he said, you can find it there, you can find it here. And as you flick through, look, there's more. And there's in this book, there's hundreds of pages of reference points, even an index at the back. See it there? That is all references. That's not even a part of the book. That's just showing where it got its information from. So you mean these are good books, man. So in the UPK, when we say we're not African, believe me, we got the proof, man.
That's right.
All right, so we're gonna get page 292. So yeah, from page 292 to 93.
Page 292. John O. Gilby, master of His Majesty's Revels in the Kingdom of Ireland, published in 1679 a volume of Africa.
All right. So now this man in 1679, he published a book about Africa. So this man, during the time of slavery, you know, he was going around Africa while the slave trade was happening. Now, of course, we're not reading it, but in your own time, this is specifically talking about West Africa.
Right.
Read on.
Wherein he speaks of the coast of Guinea.
Of Guinea. Where is Guinea? In West Africa, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? If your mom or dad is a Rasta, they've told you about a Guinea. You mean I knew about that from young, man. And the west coast of Africa. So this Irish historian, he is right there, man.
That's right.
In 1679, read on.
Many Jews also are scattered over this region.
Well, what did he say?
Many Jews also are scattered over this region.
So this man knew that many Jews are scattered over West Africa, man.
Right.
Even at the time of slavery, of course, slavery began in the 1600s. There was still many Jews scattered all over Western Africa, man. So when slavery lasted 400 years, Africans had lots of us to get, man. Even when he was there, he knew, damn, there's many Jews all over this west coast of Africa. Reader.
Some natives boasting themselves of Abraham's seed.
So some people that live there, to be a native mean a place where you was born. They were saying they are Abraham's seed, man. How much of a Jew can you be?
Right.
A Hamite don't know about Abraham's seed.
That's right.
Africans don't know who Abraham is. But guess what? Israelites do, though.
That's right.
And even on the west coast of Africa, there was Africans that knew they were Abraham's seed, man. When he spoke to them, or there was a translator. Read on.
Inhabiting both sides of the river Niger.
And the Niger River, you know what I mean? In your own time, you can look up the Niger River. That is a long river that runs damn near throughout the top to bottom of the west coast of Africa, man.
That's right.
And along that river, this man goes, yo, there's Jews everywhere, man. On his journey from the top of the river to the bottom of the river, what does he see? Just pure Israelites, man. Read on.
Page 293. Strangers who fled thither either from the desolation of Jerusalem.
Whoa. So hang on. Even this Irishman knows why they are in West Africa.
Right.
From the desolation of Jerusalem, man. Even this author knows, well, yeah, at one point in time, you know, the Romans did destroy Jerusalem. And that's why these Jews are all over the Niger River. They're scattered all over Western Africa. And this author, he knew why. He knew why they were there. Why? Because from the fall of Jerusalem, man.
Right.
Read on.
By Vespasian.
By Vespasian, like what Rudolph R. Windsor said into Babylon to Timbuktu.
That's right.
Same thing. Listen, all these authors, they're all saying the same thing. That because the Romans destroyed Judea, these people ended up migrating as far as to West Africa, man. They're all saying the same thing. We showed you that these historians that research West Africa way much more than you do, they know that, listen, those people that were enslaved, they were Israelites living in West Africa.
That's right.
Read on.
Or from Judea, wasted and depopulated by the Romans,
Mm-hmm.
Persians, Saracens, and Christians, or else such as came out of Europe.
There, so meaning all of us that got to West Africa, it wasn't from one event. Some came earlier, some came before Rome, some came after Rome. You know what I mean? Or whatever discrimination we faced, we ended up in that same place, man.
That's right.
So every Israelite in the west coast of Africa wasn't specifically there from 70 AD, but some were there from the Christians that hated Jews, the Muslims that hated Jews, the Persians and the Medes, and they were journeying through Africa. But all in all, we all ended up there, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So never let no one tell you that there is no proof of Israelites being sold by Africans, man.
That's right.
It's here. It's here. And believe me, there's more books. Just that, I don't want to make it exhausting, man.
Right.
There's many books that prove the same thing. And, again, you look at the back of the book, they got references where you can go and find that information too, man.
Right.
It's all there. Reader.
Whence they were banished, etc. According to the map of Africa, included by O. Gilby in his volume Lake Chad, is marked as Borno Lake, as the Niger is supposed to flow through it. On this map, the Niger rises in a lake called Lake Niger, situated a few degrees north of the equator,
Mm-hmm.
and the 10 degrees east of the longitude of Lad Chad. It flows almost due north until approaching Lake Borno, Chad. When it turns to the northwest to enter the lake, passing thence, it flows almost due west until it reaches Lake Guado.
All right. So now, what is the point of all these lakes? Of course, if you're on a journey, the best option is to follow the lake. Why? So that you can get a water. You're not going to journey on dry land and you might die because there's nothing to drink. The best journey to take is by following lakes, man.
That's right.
So that you always have a supply of a water. And this historian, he followed the lakes and goes, yes, that it makes sense that they ended up in West Africa, because if they was following Lake Chad, then this lake and that lake, eventually it does get you into what we know today as West Africa.
Right.
So yes, so now, along with them being in West Africa, they even have a likely route of how they even got there, man.
Right.
Read on.
Skipping down. All this should be kept in mind in identifying the location of the Jews.
So again, those lakes, keep that in mind when you are identifying the Jews, man.
Right.
Remember, Jerusalem was destroyed. They're in Africa. That's a fact. Now, he found them in West Africa. How did they get there? He's following the lakes, man.
That's right.
Well, so, you know what I mean? How did they end up here? And if you follow Lake Chad to the Bornu River, this lake, eventually you will end up in West Africa, which is the point he's making, that, if you want to find out how they got here, then just follow the lakes, man.
That's right.
Read on.
Inhabiting both sides of the Niger River. Later, O. Gilby paraphrases the citation we have already taken from Leo Africanus, in which he has nothing material except to place the Africans in question in land from Guinea coast and distinct from those areas near the sea.
There. So now, even Leo Africanus, for those of you that don't know who Leo Africanus is, he was the Roman general that beat Hannibal. You know what I mean? Again, now with Hannibal, he was an African, and the Romans beat him one time. Well, they beat his dad first. They first beat his dad, and because they used to make these boats that could sail really fast, they banned a Carthage, which was his empire, from making boats. To go, listen, now that we've won, you can't make a ship ever again. So now his dad died, and Hannibal vowed to get revenge on the Roman Empire, but he couldn't make a boat, or that'd be war. So what he done was he paid lots of Africans to walk with him across the Alps and to walk into Rome and fight Rome because he couldn't make ships.
Right.
And now, of course, he beat them on their land, but then because they had ships, they sailed to his homeland and they beat him there. But even Scipius Africanus, through his journeys of Africa, even he knew that West Africa, there's not much known about it. And he said that thousands of years ago. And now those historians know that what is true, to be honest. No one didn't really mention too much about West Africa.
Right.
And then he goes there and finds tons of Jews, man.
That's right.
Which what the point being made, you know what I mean? The point being made is that, look, man, you know what I mean? We got the history, and even historians know about West Africa. So don't let no one tell you that we are Africans, because that is a lie, man.
That's right.
We are the chosen people of God, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And with that, we're gonna get to the announcements and the just the announcements for time's sake. Got a question line. Has ever took on? So okay, you might have to rewrite that. Don't quite understand. All right. Yeah. So yeah.
This is the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, brother and sister will need to get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18 and verse 21. Malachi chapter 3 and verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in Hebrew. Maya Sha'ara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to treasury department or teacher, priest fund. Free offering for the priest. Not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations.
The Feast of it's Monday, the 6th of September.